Hello, cats and kittens. Mama Cat Gamer here. I have had some challenges with the ATEM multi-stream getting set up properly, so I'm going to take a few moments to make sure everything's running well. And I hope you have all been doing well. This stream, I'm like shaking right now because this stream we are tackling the solo duty in from the cold. It is probably the most difficult one in the entire MSQ period, okay? From start to Dawn Trail end, all right? So I've been like dreading this stream all week, and I'm so nervous about it right now. It's not even funny. So I'm making sure that everything is going well and that we can hear everybody. Okay, so I got that one going. That good. I'm glad Twitch is going. Mira was here earlier, but she was like eating the cords, trying to eat the camera. You know, it was a hot mess. Let me make sure YouTube. I have sticky notes all over the top of my stream or screen here to make sure that I can make sure I can keep track of all the notes for this solo duty, so bear with me. So I re-stick one of them to the top here. All right. I'm trying to keep my cool here. All right, sounds like everything's going okay. Think we're on. Okay. Make sure that we're seeing everything. It was looking like we were going to storm here for a little bit. All right. And welcome everyone to this Wednesday's live stream of Gavtia. We are going through the Endwalker story. We finished a very, very dark portion of the story last stream, and I hope everyone was okay after that. This stream we are starting with, let's see what we're starting with. We're starting with In Pursuit of Power. All right, I'm hearing double of me here. All right. I don't mind hearing one of me in the background because I can kind of ignore it, but hearing two of me not quite in sync is a little disturbing. All right, In Pursuit of Power. Speak with Appius and have him accompany you. Oh, Strange Bedfellows is the actual MSQ. In Pursuit of Power is a blue quest that is an ether current quest. Okay. Let's see. We got a couple of helpers here. Oh, there goes one of my sticky notes. Hang on. I just need him to get through the solo duty. Ariange says, "'Tis a comfort to see thee none the worse for thy recent ordeals." All right, it's good to see you, and glad that you're unhurt after all the previous trials you've been through. Rahatia says, "Oh, I did not expect you to arrive so soon. There's been a development. Perhaps you had best see for yourself." Uh-oh. First Legion soldier says, "What are you doing back here? Where are Euless and the others?" Elise says, "Gav and Euless." "We arrived just before you did, and too late." "Too late for what? What happened? The first Legion soldier says, "It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life." Everybody's going, "What?" After the news about the 10th, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No. No, he wouldn't. Thancred, she says, Thancred and the others, assisted by the soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course shall the legatus be afforded a proper burial. Okay, well, we'll give him a proper burial soon. First Legion soldier says, he released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free. Free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, Grahatia says, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, says the First Legion soldier, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned. We just want to live. Gav agrees with that. Alize says, we'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we can have supplies brought over for them. It'll be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see they reach our camp safely. Everybody says, yeah, that's a good idea. Eula says, What else does the First Legion soldier say? After what had happened to his family, the first was all Euless had left. Now even that's been taken away from him. He's not alone in that either. There's a comfort in having someone to follow, someone to lead. I wonder what Theodora has to say. I do hope the Ilsbard contingent actually makes some kind of difference around here. We have to speak with Sabinianus. I think that's how it's pronounced. I never took Latin. I took French, which kind of gives you an idea of some of the Latin stuff, but I'm going to mend. Sabinianus. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance I might see them again, I'll take it. So, take me. Take me with you. Please. Alright. I don't know if that's Ciso or Kaiso. Well, got the Aetheryte sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Okay. Since the Aether is functioning again, why not give it a try? It'd be a waste if no one did. Yeah, let's attune to it immediately. I'm like trying to keep my sticky notes up here on my monitor. I have like 6 of them going across the top of my monitor to help me get through the next solo duty. I can walk, I think. Just give me a few more moments. All right, who else do we got to talk to? Somebody probably in the train there. Ooh, what is Thancred and... Oh, yeah. Ulysses. Why? Alfina says, this is where it happened. Because it's best not to dwell on it. Not when there's work to be done. It's a very Thancred thing to say. What does Alize have to say? Everything's going to be all right now. It hurts. Urianger says, to employ healing magics now would likely invite catastrophe, as thou canst attest from thine experiences at Victor's spoils. Hey, we use magic right now, it'll invite catastrophe, as you can attest to from your experience at Victor's spoils. Indeed, the Garleans view our ability to manipulate ether with the same suspicion that many Eorzeans do magitech. Oh, there's an interesting thought. Flavius. Oh, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'll be glad to accept. All right, speak with Alfino. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. But all of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Yep, several of them. Thank the 12. Thank the 12. Ingrid says, you and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and tempered skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our Leminson friends. I'd save it for the tempered, though. I don't know what that is. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. I'll stay with the refugees and do what I can to protect them. While I have no doubt that you and Thancred will do a fine job clearing a path, we must be ever vigilant for threats that may have slipped the net. Alright. There goes my, sticky note again. Give me a moment. I am taping these little buggers to the top. Okay. Oh, here's a Stinian. I know not how to offer encouragement or solace to these poor souls. But if it's safe passage to our camp they need, I'll gladly oblige. That's so very Estinian, don't you think? Decimus, Lord Quintus was our rock in the storm, and now we are without a leader, without direction. Nevertheless, we must live on, even if that means consorting with our former enemies. Well, what do you want? Tell me about yourself. I am Decimus, Centurion of the First Legion. It is my sworn duty to defend Garlemald from barbarians such as you, and your very presence here is an affront to my honor. What kind of place is this? This is Tertium, third among the stations that encircle the city. The decommissioned carriages here now serve as the 1st Legion's temporary base of operations. It has also been a safe haven for those fleeing the turmoil that has befallen the capital. What scant supplies we have are distributed among civilian and soldier alike, and we strive to maintain some semblance of order in these dark times. Our true objective, however, is not merely to survive, but to reclaim our home. We have no time to deal with your band of savages, and if you dare to interfere in our affairs, we will not hesitate to cut you down. Good luck with that. Alright. Anybody else we're missing talking to? I don't know if Urianger has something new to say since we updated the quest. Nope. Alright, let's head out. Survey the designated locations and deal with any enemies that appear. 04. Even with the tape, I had one fall down. Why am I running when I can drive? Oh, I see a blue quest ahead. It means, we need to pick it up. Azure-haired woman. She's a blue hair. One with startling blue hair is in search of her son, who has disappeared without a trace. Excuse me, sir. Have you seen a little boy with hair a similar shade to mine? He's my son, and I can't find him anywhere. It all started when I told him we ought to seek refuge in your encampment, and he started wailing and sobbing like I've never seen. The next thing I knew, he was running hell for leather, goodness knows where. I'm worried he may have left the station altogether, and the streets above are rife with danger. Please, could you find him for me? Sure. Oh, you will? Bless your heart. If I know my son, he's probably tried to return to our house to the north of Palatium Novum. Try there first before anywhere. He'll be easy to recognize, I should think, what with the color of his hair and all. So we're looking at somebody with blue hair. Oh, let's see. Here's our Chocobo Keep. I got that unlocked. Let's tackle the MSQ, because I really want to get in from the cold done. Let's see. Let's see where we got to go. All right, we got to go south, and then we got to go towards Camp Broken Glass. Kind of nice to be able to just run through all of these. It's one of the things you don't experience when you come through an area as, way over leveled, is that sense of, danger around every corner, and if you don't walk through an area the right way, you end up dying. Oh, there's a famous purple smoke of death. You know what? We can bring our Chocobo out. Let's do that. Send him to heal. I hear thunder? What do you mean, invalid target? Okay, this is weird. Okay, that was really weird. Enemy is weak. Use the length of the Conqueror's chain. Okay. Oh, that's what. Okay, I missed the notification there. All right. That's what we had to do. Be smart enough to read the quest text on my screen. Oh my god. Be careful, you might accidentally enable extreme dungeons unlocked if you accidentally... no, you can. You won't ever hit the extreme dungeons through duty roulettes, okay? You have to enter those separately. Now, you might get the hard mode version of them, but you won't get the extremes unless you intentionally queue for those. Yeah, I prefer being over level too. It makes it go through much faster. Time to see me get tortured, yeah. Left and right post-it notes? Yes, I have 6 of them going across my screen. And yes, Chili, my handwriting is atrocious. So I'll tell you, when I went through first grade, there was still a debate on whether you should be converting left-handed people to right-handed. But in my school district, they had literally just stopped doing that. And so if you were left-handed, you were allowed to continue learning how to write left-handed. However, my first grade teacher was 65 years old. She had been telling lefties to write with their right hand for decades, right? And she had no idea how to teach a lefty how to write correctly. And on top of that, I was so nearsighted that I literally could not see past about 6 inches clearly. And so, I mean, I couldn't even see the big E on the wall. I had to walk up to the big E to be able to see it. And so I went through like 10 weeks of first grade seeing no farther than this clearly, which means I could not see the chalkboard at all. So when she's explaining how to make letters and all that, I had no idea what she was even doing. And so I did not learn how to write well. See no threats on the path ahead. Okay, good. Oh, yeah. I mean, that was a common thing to do at the time. And to be fair, the world is set up for righties. Only 10% of us are left-handed. And, okay, use the length of Conqueror's chain. Alright. Speak with Thancred. They're actually starting to teach cursive again. And the reason for that is it's actually faster to write in cursive than it is in print, because you're never lifting the pen from the paper. Now, once I got into high school and some of my English teachers had to read our essays, my senior English teacher said, hey, look, if your penmanship is better in printing, it's okay for you to print. And so I've been printing ever since. And it's faster to me. My printing is kind of almost a hybrid cursive, because I hardly ever print without lifting my pen off the paper. So my printed letters are still kind of connected lightly. Ingrid says, ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The tempered proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first and all that. Alright, go talk to Lucia. Ah, Gav, I was informed of Quintus's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive to our proposal, but I would hear your first-hand account. That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugees, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus, and that following his suicide, they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. Yeah, I think there's value in teaching cursive because it helps, because our fine motor skills are not developed until probably about 6th to 7th grade. And I think cursive helps people develop their fine motor skills. And that's not a bad thing. Because, you know, manipulating a screen isn't doing the same thing that cursive is. The other thing is when you write notes down instead of typing them into the computer, they're discovering that there's some mechanism in the brain because of that input helps us remember better. So I think they're working on teaching people how to write notes again instead of just typing them into the computer, because every time you make a letter differently, it sends a signal to the brain. It's very interesting research that's going on about that right now. All right. We are in from the cold. Okay. Before I accept this, if you're going to do this quest, you really need to leave about 45 minutes to an hour set aside to do this completely. Even if we do this portion of this quest where we're doing the fighting and such, That alone can take a good 20 minutes. Okay. And then there's a lot of cutscenes before and after. All right. So grab your drink. If I could drink a margarita right now, I would. I'm like so nervous about this. I really dislike this. It would be like way easier if they put checkpoints in between the different phases, because that would make it much easier to tackle. But they don't, and if you fail at the very end, they start you right back at the very start, and you have to go through the whole thing all over again. It is enormously frustrating. Yes, unfortunately. Ranjit's way up there at the top for me. He's probably in my top 5. But, this one is a beast. It is just a beast. So, as soon as I'm done with this stream today, I'm going to start working on In From the Cold as one of the solo duties, because I think it's that important to get it done and posted. All right. Psych myself up. Say a prayer for me. Lucia has further news for you. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as it happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much-needed warmth. Furthermore, we've offered sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal waiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask you to seek out Y'shtola? She is but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. We're one of the few people who can actually tell Y'shtola what to do. And even then, she might not. That wretched... What wretched weather to be laboring. Y'shtola says, yes, I have been taking proper breaks and imbibing sufficient water. But what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. We're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with between the tempered and the first's wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing invite disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these scenes in their entirety. Alright. I'm going to make sure. I don't think food buffs... use. Like I have to peek under my sticky notes on top here. I don't think food buffs will apply in this next solo duty. But I put a food buff on anyway. Yes.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvelous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Oh, a Manolane not being his arrogant little self.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Leminson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
I love these two.
The hells you did? We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here.
So Manolane is the youngest brother and son of Camp Edmond de Fortin. So he's the youngest son. And Sicard is one of the pirates from Limsa Lominsa.
That's ease, man. There's nothing funny in it.
This is a big step because he's an Alamegan resistant. They were under Garlean rule for a couple decades and suffered horribly. So him offering a drink to Euless is a big deal.
I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, again you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent, we owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
Oh, yeah, me too. I mean, who doesn't, right? Yeah, we don't often have the luxury of choice.
Indeed. We can but do our utmost to unite these disparate peoples and lead them to victory.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
It was a little bit of normalcy in a sea of craziness, right? Aw, look at the flower. It's happy.
Thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans. Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
Oh boy. Allergies are bad.
Experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short.
Here we go.
I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken.
Oh, look, dinner with the tyrant.
Good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh.
Like, uh-oh.
So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo.
Yeah, yes, actually, we did.
His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Okay, the sticky end is quite a pun. He's one of the bosses you fight in that dungeon. I think it's Alamigo Dungeon. And he has a very large needle. So sticky end is quite the pun. Give me back my body. And this is such a pain in the arse.
Come now. To us Asians, it is no different from trying on new clothes. Why not make the most of it by partaking in this fine cuisine? I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate.
Oh, I wonder what they've done with Varus. Oh no. Oh no.
Ah, exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course.
They don't call it emperor worship for nothing.
As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Galvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck.
I don't think it was luck, man.
The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory.
Yes, that is Asahi, Tsuyu's brother. And you remember he died during that trial? Yeah, Yotsuyu. And Daniel took Asahi's body for his own.
And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima. It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight.
I know. Ew, right? Yes, ew. Oh.
And
Yuck.
just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe.
Now we learn about the towers.
The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Xenos could care less.
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo.
That's an interesting thought, because I don't think Gav or anybody else thought that at the time that they had defeated Xenos, right?
Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion.
That is such a psychopath, not in the sociopath, serial killer kind of thinking, but in terms of psychopathy causing people to not feel emotions the same way everybody else does. And so the only thing that gets them excited is what they want to pursue. And in Xenos's case, what excites him is finding ever greater prey to give him the thrill that he's seeking of living at the edge of life, right? So he lives for that moment, and that's the only way he can feel anything.
Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone.
Oh, that is sick. That is just sick. I created chaos so you could have some excitement. It's like, it's just so wrong. So wrong. Gav's just thinking of all the people that have been hurt by Xenos' insanity and Fandaniel's insanity.
At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost his appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself.
Gap goes, oh shit, I'm in somebody else's body.
Or together.
Oh. Oh no.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity.
I think Fandaniel just wants to see the chaos that two of them can create. All right, here we go.
Ah, there it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making his way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, withstanding orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
All right, duty calls, commence battle for In from the Cold, level sync. Who cares? You're not fighting as anybody else except this temper or non-tempered soldier. You will have some abilities. There are 3 phases, okay? Phase 1, you'll be running around trying to collect some items. Your job during that phase is to avoid combat at all costs, okay? You have very little health. If you die, you'll start over, okay? Use the environment around you to hide, all right? The soldiers will only see you if they're looking straight at you. If you walk behind them, You could literally walk a fraction of a millimeter behind them, and as long as they don't see you, they're not going to attack. So use that to your advantage. Hide behind posts, hide in buildings, hide in alleyways. They typically patrol the roads only. They don't patrol the alleyways typically, right? At the very start, we're going to be fighting as basically a gladiator using gladiator skills. You'll have very limited ones, just as you do in other places where you're fighting as an NPC, right? Pick up some med kits along the way. And we're going to do that if we can do it safely, all right? If you have one of the Magitech Reapers try to attack you, run. You may not be able to escape aggro, okay? The best place to run if you're attacked is to run between in buildings and into the alleyways, okay? If you get attacked by a soldier, try and get out of view and run away into an alleyway if you can. Sometimes they'll de-aggro and you'll be able to continue on. Use the med kits to heal up because your heal regeneration is very, very slow, right? This first phase, I believe, is timed. I would not worry about it, okay? You'll have plenty of time to do what you do if you don't get into fights. If you get into a lot of fights, you will fail because you won't have enough time to get the items. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the Magitech Reaper. We have to activate that first to make the 2 other items show up that we need to pick up. We're going to pick up a key, and then we're going to pick up a tank. We're going to go back to the Magitech Reaper, refuel it. We're going to use the Reaper to attack ads to get out. Then we're going to get out of the Reaper. We're going to go fight some other ads with civilians. After that, there will be an active time maneuver. This active time maneuver is bugged, okay? If you're used to face rolling your keyboard, you cannot do that on this phase. You have to click the button on your screen, all right? There may be some keys you can actually hit, but I can never remember which ones. If you try and face roll your keyboard, you're going to bring up a bunch of menus. You're going to fail the instance. I did it twice before and had to redo the whole thing 2 more times. So we're going to try and avoid that. Once you get through the active time maneuver, you just crawl forward and then you're done. Okay. So take a deep breath, everybody. Cleansing breath. Let's do it. The reason I gave you that description up ahead is because we are timed. In the coming battle, you'll fight as an unknown Imperial. Quickly now. All right. Come along, he says. We're gonna end up fighting this tempered soldier over here. All right, we got 3 skills. Rage of Felony combo, fight or flight, rampart. Rampart is your shield. Fight or flight is your buff. We're going to hit that. Stay out of the AoEs. Right, we want to get out of that circle. If you fail...
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
All right, we're going to talk to this tempered Imperial twice. Very important to do that twice. He's breathed his last. Inspect the fallen Imperial. The unfortunate soldier was carrying a medical kit. You may use medical kits to restore depleted HP. While you can only carry a limited number, more can be found by inspecting fallen soldiers or wrecked Magitech. Okay? So this is your med kit. You do want to pick up a few more along the way. Tempered Imperial has breathed his last. You want to talk to him a second time. Very important. Pay your respects. You offer a silent prayer for the deceased. Were you in possession of your own body, you may have had the capacity to subdue rather than slay this tempered soldier. In this battle, you are unable to use the full extent of your powers. To reach Camp Broken Glass quickly, you should avoid combat whenever possible. They are not kidding. If you're discovered, your foes will give chase. The Magitech units are especially powerful, and your chances of defeating them in your current state are slim at best. Try none. All right, we are going to go south. We are going to avoid... I'm going to talk to this Magitech Reaper. All right, we need to get to this Magitech. We're going to go around these guys. We need to talk to this Magitech Reaper here. All right. Okay. I'm going to go back over here and hide behind this thing to look at my notes. Go south and east, Tempered Imperial. Go south. We're going to put a flag here, actually. Okay, we're putting a flag on the map here to be able to find our way back to this spot. Okay. And then I need to go east to the broken building. There's a small sack in there. So let's go east. We're going to go between these guys. Most of the time, if you're inside buildings, they're not going to see you. Contains a medical kit. All right. Check a dead imp. I don't know if we can do that safely. I don't want to get in a fight. Okay, then we need to go back to the Reaper, go north and slightly west. Ah, fuck. He saw me. Sorry if I say naughty words here. Okay, we need to go north and slightly west. All right, that's not the right way. That would be because I'm going south. We do not want to tackle them. We're going to go in here. All right. There's a building we need to find with... So these guys over here on this side will not aggro on you. I'm going to stick to buildings as much as possible. Okay, I went over here already. Small sack, we're going to pick that up. This is our fuel containing wreckage. Alright, I gotta figure out where I gotta go, because I lost my spot. The cerulean cank, okay. Only immediately north and slightly to the west of the mobilized Magic Reaper is where we gotta go. Okay. Hi, Jakey. I might fail it just because I can't remember where I gotta go. because I know he's in a building. Yeah, I know the building we have to go to is like fairly close to where the Reaper is at, but can't find it. That's not the way I want to go either. I really don't want to be anywhere near those slashers or reapers. I can't find the guy. Just watch their pathing, go around them. So that's our Magitech Reaper we have to get to. 17.8. Okay. You go to 32.4. 17.8. Makes sense. You don't have to worry about the guys on the other side here. I'm waiting for this guy to turn around. Here he is. I've wasted all this time. Okay. Key's now mine. Alright, now we gotta go into... I did not talk to the correct Magitech Reaper. That's what happened. If we hug the wall here enough, we might not aggro him. Oh. So I failed. What a shame. You were too slow to keep my lord from your friends. Let the slaughter begin. Ooh. Oh my god. So that's what happens when you fail. We're gonna skip through that cutscene. Yes. We're gonna try and do it on normal because I want to. You know what? I'm just gonna do it on very easy. All right, I'm gonna do it on very easy. No, I'm gonna do it on normal. I'm gonna bite the bullet and do it. Okay. All right. So what happened is I did not talk to the correct Magitech Reaper. I had to talk to one farther south. Okay. And that's where I messed up. So we got to start by killing this tempered soldier. Make sure you stay out of the AoEs. Okay. Do not want to take any more damage than you possibly have to, okay? He had me frozen there for a moment. And just use your 1, 2, 3.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
I love how Van Daniel's voice actor rolls his R's during that. Inspect the fallen soldier, carrying a medical kit. You may use medical kits to restore depleted HP. While you can only carry a limited number, more can be found by inspecting fallen soldiers or wrecked Magitech. Alright, let me make sure I got this back up here. Alright. We're going to pay our respects. You offer a silent prayer to the deceased. Were you in possession of your own body, you might have had the capacity to subdue rather than kill the tempered soldier. In this battle, you are unable to use the full extent of your powers to reach Camp Broken Glass quickly. You should avoid combat whenever possible. They are not kidding. Avoid combat at all costs. If you're discovered, the foes will give chase. Magitech units are especially powerful, and your chances of defeating them in your current state are slim at best. People fail because they try to fight. This is one of those battles you cannot fight at all. Let's see. Tempered soldier corpse, go south. Go east to the small building and its small sack. Oh, yeah, okay, we gotta go this way. We're gonna go grab something out of the wrecked Magitech Reaper here. We're gonna go into this building here. And get the small sack, because it's got a med kit in it. And we're gonna go back out. We're gonna hide behind these guys as much as possible. This is not the wrecked Magitech thing that we need. Found a medical kit, yay! We're gonna hug the wall here. come in here to talk to this deceased Imperial. Okay, I need to move my flag south 23.616.9. That's where I need to get to. So because I had not activated the Reaper, I didn't activate the dude that I needed to talk to. So this is the one we need to get to here. I think. Oh, no, it's the one farther down. We're gonna kind of hide out here until this guy turns around. So I really don't want to fight him if I don't have to. Got a little bit of time to talk to him. All right. Did I talk to him? Okay, now we can come into this building back here. This is where we got the dude. Speak with a wounded soldier. You've not been turned, thank goodness. I thought I was the only one left. Oh, the bastards got my hand when they took down my Magitech Reaper. If you can repair its leg, should still work. Here, take the key. Let's run out of ceruleum. You might be able to find more in the wreckage. Okay. Search Magitech Reapers for fuel. Okay. Probably want to go out this way too. So now we have to go to 27.4, 13.4. So somewhere around here. So we got to go northwest a little ways. Pick up the med kit. I found a medical kit. Yay. I think that's the one we need to get to over there. Ah, fuel containing wreckage. There we go. Now, once we pick it up, we won't be able to do anything fight-wise. So we're going to try and sneak our way down again. Ah, here's a small sack up here. This would be kind of handy for us to have. This gives us some healing. Gonna take a berth around him. And we actually have what I think is the hardest part pretty much over. Okay, phase 1's done. Okay. Disembark the Magic Reaper. Okay. We are going to go dismount. That's this N button here. Go southwest. Okay. Proceed while avoiding tempered Imperials. We're going to wait until these guys separate from each other, and then we're going to go right between them. All right, assist the civilians. We have to keep the civilians alive. The bears do a ton of damage, so we want to take them out as quickly as possible. You can fail here if the civilians die, so imperative to keep AoE attacks. All right, we're going to defeat the Almasty. Good. This is what we want to do. We want them facing us. Remember to use your fight or flight and rampart on cooldown. Okay. stay out of those circles. Make sure your circle is not overlapping any of the others. Okay, weird. All right. Oh no, dude, he failed. Oh, no. See what I mean? Oh my god. All right. What did we need to do there that we messed up? Focus the target with the red dot. Okay. Spread from allies for extreme impact and use medkit. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Let's, I don't know if these help. All right, I did not focus the one with the red dot, so that's what got me there. Sorry if I'm making noises here. In the coming battle, you will fight as an unknown Imperial. Quickly now. Reach Camp Broken Glass within the time limit. Come along! Alright, so we have Rage Felony combo, Fight or Flight, Rampart. Rampart is your damage reduction. Fight or Flight increases physical damage dealt by 25%, and Rage of Felony is your combo. So that's the only fighting skills you have. Stay out of AoEs. Very important. Some of these can one-shot you. Glory to Garlemald. He's gonna stun you, and then you run out.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
We're gonna inspect him first. Okay, essential you pay your respects. You pretty much have to, otherwise this area does not unlock. Okay, we're gonna go over to the right here and grab the talk to the Reaper here. This is not the one we need. And then I want to come in here and I want to get a small sack. That way we got an extra medical kit. We're going to go behind this guy. As long as you're behind him, you're okay. Talk to this Reaper here. We found a med kit. I talked to the deceased Imperial here. We don't want to go by them. We're going to go around them. Hi, Jakey. Oh, let's grab this small sack. Around behind him. Go behind him. Just kind of waiting here for him to go by. We have to go south more. I'm lost again. Okay, this is... I know where we're at now. Waiting for that guy to turn around. Find the map. So you have to update this one to be able to come over to here. So it's right nearby. Okay, now we have to go to 27.4, 13.4, 0.4. So we got to go northeast a bit, okay? And unfortunately, we have to go out this way. There's our fuel-containing wreckage. Oh. I'm gonna go in here. Alright, now we gotta get back to our other Magitech without getting seen, ideally. So fortunately, you don't have to worry about these enemies out here. I'm just waiting for this guy to turn around so I don't have to fight him. Or to go where I can zip behind him. See how close I got behind him? It's okay. Okay. Before you know it, I'll be an expert at this. Okay, disembark the Magitech Reaper, proceed to broken glass. Okay, we're gonna get this mount here. Avoid these tempered guys. We gotta wait for them to go apart. Alright, now we can go... We're gonna kill the dude here. I want to take the Eblin first, if possible. The Eblins do a clonal AoE, if I remember right. Ah, there you go. So if he turns around, I want him to face me instead of the group there. Focus target with red dot. Okay. Keep your circle away from others. Okay, now we got to go to the center here. All right. See if I can tap fast enough. You begin to lose consciousness, unable to escape the blast. Oh, thank God. You crawl to safety and regain consciousness. You just crawl straight ahead. You really can't go anywhere else. I'm going to cut out the failure parts. Oh my God. So we've got a debuff on us. Ah. Can breathe a sigh of
It is a
relief now.
miracle we were able to restrain the Tempered without suffering casualties.
Okay, I need something to drink after that.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Euless? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Stinian's not happy.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw him leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well he can handle himself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
That's him. Over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive his presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
Uh-oh.
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now. All's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Evil grin.
Who are you?
Oh, Graha realizes it. Nice. Enough, Xenos. Get away from them, you bastard. Oh, that's the one Gav will take. Get away from them, you bastard.
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I have yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that.
Ooh.
Charitable souls that you are. You bent over backwards to aid them, heedless of the delay, predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether, and then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. He's awake.
Kev's going, oh my god. Thank heavens I'm out of that. So I'm not dead yet?
I am pleased to report you are very much alive.
Just going, wait.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly.
Maybe?
A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Fandaniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
So, they weren't kidding when they said, leave 45 minutes. We made it. Oh. I think the first time I did this, I like redid it on very easy mode, but I really wanted to show it on normal mode for the guide, because if I could show it on normal mode, that means you could do it on easy or very easy. If you fail, just switch it to very easy and make your life a zillion times easier. All right, we got people to talk to here. I'm going to close that out. Lucia says, I will require a detailed report on what occurred whilst you were not yourself. For the contingent, of course. It can wait until later, however. For now, it's enough that you've returned. And Maxima says, the body that you were forced to inhabit turned cold and stiff the moment you were returned to your own. Perhaps the soul it belonged to is long gone. Let us pray it is so, for I doubt it would be better off in the care of Xenos or Fandaniel. There's truth. Alfino says, are you certain that you've recovered? You mustn't push yourself, especially after an experience like that. Stola says, yes, 'tis still you. My apologies. I realized too late that the ether emanating from the tower was distorting my perception. 'Twas likely a temporary effect, but I remain wary. Thangard says, no apologies necessary, least of all to me. If anything, there's a strange comfort in knowing I'm no longer the only one to have been used as a villain's puppet, though I pray you'll be the last. Right? Urianger says, full glad am I to see thee awake and restored to thine own flesh once more. Ah, I'm thrilled to see you're awake and in your own body once more. Justinian says, whatever that was, let's not do it again, eh? It's like, Justinian, do you think I wanted to? Graha says, thank heavens you're you again. Gave me quite a fright. Yeah, gave me a fright. Oh my god, I'm so glad that's over. Lee says, you're certain you're well? Nothing out of place? No missing bits? Good, though I won't promise the same for Fandaniel and Xenos after I'm through with them. How much must these people suffer before they're satisfied? How many cruel, pointless tricks must they play? Prelude to the final days or no, this ends now. Yes. Does she have anything else for us? Oh, how should we strike them down? Anything else? I realize that my sister is eager to proceed, but please be sure that you've fully recovered before you throw caution to the wind. Think we'd have anything else? I suppose your experience was a bit different, though. Unlike you, I had the pleasure of being stuck with La Habrea while he went gallivanting about, doing a poor impression of me. It adds another layer to the insult, believe you me. Y'shtola says, yes, it is still you. Okay. Hers didn't change. Alright, Lucia says, now that you've recovered, Lucia would have a word with you. Are you well enough to make a report? This anima was summoned with the corpse of Emperor Varus? Does their depravity know no bounds? Stola says, it seems not. More to the point, we can surmise that wave of ether issued not from the Tower of Babel, but from the primal lurking within it. A primal whose cry rang rather more loudly in your ears than ours. If you were taken to the tower itself, then this proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is the beating heart of the Telophoroid's machinations. Lucia says, in which case we have some highly relevant information. As many of you know, ever since we dispatched troops to free the Levailleurs, we've been developing a plan to infiltrate the tower. According to Thancred and his scouts, the main structure is lousy with tempered and enemy magitech. Furthermore, the road leading to it has collapsed, making it difficult to approach in numbers. Maximo says, thus do we propose dividing our forces into two parties, one to distract and one to infiltrate. The diversionary force will be comprised of the Ishgardian, Gridanian, and Lomensan delegations. They will begin the construction of bridges to make the Telophoroi believe we are marching upon the tower. Meanwhile, the best suited of our Alamigan, Uldan, and Eastern comrades will use a different method of ingress. Look here. The facility marked in red is the Enceladium, a vast Magitech manufactory, in ruins now, of course, this up here. But the freight tunnel connecting it to the erstwhile Imperial Palace remains intact. While the Telophoroid's attention is elsewhere, our infiltration force can use it to enter the tower undetected. Be aware, however, that the underground rail network remains very much operational. The Tempered are using it to bring supplies to the tower even now. Elfino says, if it can carry their materiel, it can carry us too, providing we sneak aboard unseen. Lucia says, the Scions will lead the infiltration party. Once inside, you must locate and dispatch Fandaniel and Xenos. We can say, we will save the people of Garlemald and those who suffer the world over. I'll have my vengeance yet, or it's time we ended this once and for all. That's more Gav. He wants to save people. Elfino says, aye, Ulyss and so many others have lost much to the Telophoroi. We shall ensure they lose no more. Ishtola says, how quickly can we enact this plan? Fandaniel made it quite clear that haste is a priority. Rahatia says, of paramount concern even, assuming he didn't name the Tower Babel on a whim. In Ammon's time, it meant Gateway of the Gods. Zandi used it to refer to a void gate, but in this case, it almost certainly alludes to something altogether greater. The eldest and most powerful of primals. Lucia says, all the more reason to act now. The rest of the contingent is aware of the plan, and we are ready to move at a moment's notice. You are to proceed north to Forum Patins. Lisa's group will meet you there. Ishtola says, as ever, we are grateful for your foresight. This is the moment we've been waiting for. Spare no effort in your preparations. Oh. I think how he knew that Gav wasn't behaving normally, and so he was able to kind of discern it really quickly. All right, Maxima says, those not taking part in the assault will defend this camp and the airships, as well as safeguard your escape routes from the tower. You need not worry about what comes after, so fight with all you have. Lucia says, Lisa's party ought to have secured the tunnel by now. Rendezvous with them and make your way inside. May the Fury guide you, and us all. I am going to do these blue quests real quick because that'll unlock flying for us, and the sooner we get flying unlocked in here, the better. And I think we picked up another one here. Commissary officer has his hands full and is in need of an extra pair. Well, well, now here's a sight that warms the heart. I never thought I'd have the honor to meet a hero of your pedigree, let alone beg for your aid. You see, I've got a shipment of supplies to send down to Tapper's Den, and having someone who knows the lay of the land by my side would go a long way to ensure its safety. Check your bits. See, I've got a shipment of supplies to send down to Tapper's Den, and having someone who knows the lay of the land by my side will go a long way to ensure safe delivery. I defended myself, but I have to carry the bloody thing. If you'd be so kind as to escort me, I assure you I'll make it worth your while. Well, then I'll be waiting outside the gates of the camp. Come meet me when you're ready. And don't take too long. Monsters abound in these parts. Okay. I know there's somebody we had to talk to over here. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. All right. Let me check in with my kids real quick. What do these boys have to say? Manolane says, "Oh, you've finally come around. From what I gather, you'd been through rather a lot. What with your sudden disappearance, then even when you did return, there was some sort of fracas, it seems. Someone did explain it to me, but I must admit I found the whole account positively mind-boggling. And once again, your timing is impeccable. Why, you've just recovered just in time to join the foray into the enemy's stronghold. I do hope you're feeling up to it." Sanson says, "It has all been leading up to this. As I'm assigned to the diversionary force, I doubt our paths will cross once the fighting starts, so I shall take this opportunity to wish you the very best of luck. Truth be told, I'm feeling more than a bit nervous. I've never been involved in something of such scale, but with Guidolo and the others at my side, I'm confident we will succeed." Right, let me take these off real quick. They're in the way of my view. I had all of these little sticky notes here. Guidolo says, "We're still deciding who'll be staying behind and who will act as a diversion. Emmanuel is to guard the camp while Sanson and I join the van. Jahanto may have already waxed philosophical on this topic, but it is here upon the battlefield that a bard shows their true mettle. Wherever swords clash and magics crackle, our song shall be heard." Alright, we gotta talk to Apius. We meant to do this last time, but, I ran out of time. Though the ultimate objective is to get the engines running at full capacity, the purpose of this inspection is to work out what parts we'll need. However, I would hate to fumble something and be accused of sabotage, so I'd appreciate it if you would be the one to lay hands on the devices. Never fear, I'll be right behind you, telling you what to look for. If we inspect, say, 3 of them, we should have a decent idea of what to repair. What needs repair. Lead the way. Alright, we gotta escort him around. Like the cerulean engines with Apius. Oh, there's a chocobo keep. Nice. Oh, what do these guys say? Oh, there's another one here, too. Seen you before in Tertium, yeah? I'm part of the first group transferred here, but there's someone I'm trying to find, a small boy, red hair. Have you seen him? Nope. He's probably still refusing to budge. Oh, my apologies. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Gaia, 1st Legion. I've been doing what I can for the refugees, though I suppose I'm one myself. You see, I've always tried to help those in need. Some call me a busybody, in fact. Before joining the military, I was a member of the Vigilis Urbani, and it was our duty to keep the citizenry safe. Old habits die hard, though, which is why I'm determined to look after that lad. He's been separated from his parents in the chaos, but he won't leave the station without them. Thing is, there's no place for a child his age to be fending for himself. You've seen the conditions there. He needs food and warmth, which you and yours have been kind enough to offer. I should go back to the station to try persuading him to join your camp. Could I trouble you to accompany me? It'll do him good to see you're not the monsters he probably thinks you are. Thank you. Well then, no time like the present. Alright, well, we're going to finish this thing with Apius. Zolka. Greetings, Gav. A pity that our paths will be diverging on the battlefield, though we shall see each other again once the dust is settled. Worry not. When we do, you shall find me stronger than before. Arun Sana says, the time has come for me to head to the front line. You see, with so many healers needed to treat the tempered, our allies want for support on the battlefield. That's where I come in. He is a powerful healer. Brunbar. Me and the others will cause enough ruckus to wake the dead. So you lot should have an easy time sneaking in. Oh, here's one Cerulean engine. What does Alberic say? The time is upon us. Neither you nor Astinian will break under the coming onslaught of that, I am sure. I too vow not to bend. See us to victory. By my lance, I do swear. Stephanivian, according to my prospectometer, this operation is guaranteed to succeed. Hurry, give the enemy what for, Gav, while we finish up preparations here. Sigurd says, all right, lot. When we get the signal, we'll make the loudest racket Garlemald's ever heard. Fretting girl? Okay, well, that's not part of that. Oh, there's another Cerulean engine in there. I think last time I did this, I didn't realize it was in the building for like forever. Making sure there's none over there. Okay. Those not taking part in the assault will defend this camp in the air for ships as well as safeguard your escape route from the tower. You need not worry about what comes after, so fight with all you have. Lucia says, Lisa's party ought to have secured the tunnel by now. Rendezvous with them and make your way inside. May the Fury guide you and us all. Okay. I think we're getting out of our... Oh, there it is. I see the little sparkly. Let's talk to him real quick. Does he have anything? Speak with Apius. Remember, 3 engines total. You do the touching. Praise be to your deft hands. I have an idea of what our next step ought to be, though perhaps it would be best to apprise Rimilno of our progress first. Alright, let's go talk to Rimilno. How are our engines? Alas, I fear that each of those we examined are guaranteed to break down sooner or later should we continue using them in their current state. Surely you jest. I swear it on my integrity as an engineer. You are in dire need of instruction in the proper operation of Cerulean engines. You saw the little lamp light up when you touched the switch, correct? That only illuminates when there's an issue with the engine. They were switched off for want of fuel when the settlement was abandoned, no doubt, which prevented them burning out, only to let them freeze solid instead ere your lot turned them on. From the state they're in, I can only assume it didn't occur to you to warm them up first. Well, I'm sorry we didn't have expertise in ceruleum engines right off the bat. I notice you have heating technology of your own, but it will do you no good should the engines to power them break, now will it? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain from my assistance. Rimano says, I am a machinist from frozen climes myself, and what you say sounds plausible enough. Very well, on behalf of the camp, I formally ask you to repair the ceruleum engines. I suppose that means I'll be taking responsibility if anything goes wrong, so you may as well use your own 2 hands this time. That's the spirit. I knew you'd come around. Do you have anything else for us? Now that Rimano knows I'm worthy of his trust, we need only prove it to his superiors. Okay. Now let's go talk with this other chickie. There you are. I knew you'd have the heart to help a soul in need. Hey, we got to escort the emissary. Remember, you can go behind the enemies. Commissary officer, discuss the Magna Glacius. It'll be some time yet before we map the entirety of this vast expanse. It stretches north as far as the eye can see, unhospitable to even the hardiest of explorers. It's a wonder that the Garleans survived at all, let alone went on to form the Empire. Seeing the Magna Glacius with my own eyes, however, I've gained some understanding of their disposition. What else do they gotta say? Speak with the commissary officer. Oh, my friends aren't going to believe who's protecting me. I'll be telling this story when I'm in my cups for moons to come. Cerulia ingens. This is only hearsay, but I've been told these masses are formed when ceruleum bursts forth from the earth and comes into contact with the surrounding water, freezing instantly and capturing that moment of violence forevermore. The water mixed in it prevents the ceruleum from being set aflame, so we can't use it as fuel without refinement. The amount of ceruleum you get after all that work is barely worth the trouble. Pure ceruleum is wrested straight from the earth. That's what those rigs you see off in the distance are doing, or so I've heard. Here we are, safe and sound. I couldn't have done it without you, friend. Now all that's left is to deliver the goods. Let's enter those caves and get some shelter from these freezing winds, eh? Need to make sure of one thing real quick. Realized I didn't have these surnames abbreviated. I put them on their full names because some people have the most wonderful and hilarious names. Already let's surname it. Okay. Because I think we're going to have to do a dungeon after this. I'm sorry, Muriel wasn't here. She was here earlier, but the little stinker was like playing with the camera, the cat camera above her, trying to bite my Azeron keypad, trying to bite the cords, and I gave her this the little silver vine thing to chew on, but she just decided, nope, I'm going to go off and do my thing because Mama's trying to keep me out of all the wires. Well, the goods have been safely delivered, but I'm afraid I have one more task to beg of you. Of course, I'd do it myself if I could, but I'm afraid this calls for someone with skills that I lack. You're not obligated to help me again, but seeing as how you're already here, maybe you won't mind hearing me out. Alright, we're going to come back to that at some future date. Okay, we got to speak with Gaia, speak with Lise. Lise is way up there. Search for the azure-haired boy. That's up north of Tertium. Where's Gaia? Oh, she's up at Tertium too. Let's go up to Tertium. Do I have anything to repair? No. My prediction is correct. He should still be around here. His name is Volusus, and most know him better for his scarlet locks. Considering how reluctant he is to leave, I doubt he'd answer if we tried calling out for him. Would you mind helping me look? Search for Volusus. Okay, he's down in here. If I remember right, he's like hiding back along in here somewhere. Oh, there he is, hiding in plain sight. Who are you? Volusus, we've been looking everywhere for you. Still refusing to join everyone at the other camp, I see. I'm not going anywhere, not without Mom and Dad. Don't you see? It's for your own good. I know you. Came here with Euless, didn't you? Please, you've got to listen to me. Mom and Dad are alive, and I know they are. No one's saying they aren't. Sorry to burden you, but I have a feeling he'll be more cooperative once he's gotten this off his chest. Hear him out, would you? Alright, we're going to hear him out later. He's safer here than outside, but it's clear he'd be better off coming with us. There must be some way to persuade him. Well, we're going to persuade him another time. And search for the azure-haired boy up north. It would help if I, like, maybe went the right direction. There we go. Yep, that's the right direction. I was going the right direction. I don't know. Actually, I've never done that quest. I mean, I plan on doing all of the yellow quests with Gav at some point. Just because I, you know, want to do all of the quests on Attune someday. And, Since I'm doing a kind of complete run-through on Gav, I'll be doing that. There is so much I missed the first time around doing this. It's just amazing how much you pick up the second time around. Uh-oh. Got a feeling we gotta fight this. Another block street. Who are you? Mother sent you? Tell her I won't go to the enemy's camp. I'm going home. Boy with the sky blue hair has made good his escape. You'd best resume your search for this obstreperous youth. You were dying to know what obstreperous means. Kind of like stubborn. Wait, why do I even have those on my bar if I can't use them? Oh, okay. What sneaking entails? Oh, I hate sneaking. Certain duties require you follow an NPC approach without being seen. Should you be detected, you must return to the starting point and try again. The indicator shown in the image above indicates that you risk being seen should your NPC you're following turn around. The indicator shown in the image above indicates that you risk being seen should you be standing too close to the NPC. Okay, so basically what you have to do is like hide behind stuff when they kind of stop. Stop following me. Sure. Sure, kid. Sure. Once again, the boy with the sky blue hair has taken flight and will likely be looking over his shoulder for signs of trouble from now on. With a weary sigh, you resume the hunt. We're going to come over this way. So, see how he turned around there? Perhaps I lost him. We're going to kind of stay hidden here. We don't want to be in the radius of that. Going home no matter what. I'm going to come behind this pillar here. Little stinker saw me. So, since we're gonna have to come here, I gotta figure out a better place to hide. Probably over here or something like that. Or I might be able to just, you know, stay behind this rock here. Okay. Thank goodness we don't have to worry about these, you know, enemies patrolling around. We can just, you know, walk right through them. You can also kind of pre-kill them, right? If you know you're going to be going in that direction, you just kill that satellite ahead of time. Stop following me. Once again, the boy with the sky blue hair has taken flight and will likely be looking over his shoulder for signs of trouble from now on. With a weary sigh, you resume the hunt. I know you're up to no good. Your next quest objective involves sneaking. Your destination will not appear on the map while you're following. So we're going to come back over here. Perhaps I lost him. I'm going to wait for him to start moving again. We're going to come over to here. And we're just going to stay here for the moment. Probably can come over here, actually. Go hide behind the tree. Stop following me. Once again, the boy with the sky blue hair has taken flight and will likely be looking over his shoulder for signs of trouble from now on. With a weary sigh, you resume the hunt. I know you're up to no good. Your next quest objective involves sneaking. Your destination will not appear on the map while following. Learn more about this from the sneaking thing. I'm going to come over to here. We're just gonna stay here. We're gonna run behind this pillar. All right, we did it. Now we can approach him. No, our home, it was here, right here. You again? Leave me alone. I'm staying here to build a new house. Bigger and better than the old one. Child has escaped your grasp yet again, though this may be construed as a particularly tiresome endeavor. The game has read our minds. Remember that he is only a child and knows no better. You should find him before he comes to harm. Alright, let's go over here. Oh dear. I'm gonna help heal him up. Why do you care so much? We're enemies, remember? Why are you trying to help me? You need help and I'm offering it, huh? How would your mother feel if something were to happen to you? I don't care what you say. We don't need your help. But Mother's worried. I should go back to the station. Report to the azure-haired woman, who I think is in Tertius. Yeah, we're going to go over that way. You know what? We're up here anyway. Speak with Lise. No, I'm going to turn it in, actually. And the reason for that is if I get that one done, we'll have more of the Ethernet stuff done. $883 yalms to the south? Oh, jeez. I was wondering when I would see you again. I'm happy to report my son has returned. Poor creature, you should have seen him. Tears pouring down his little cheeks, crying his apologies to me. I know that you were the one who found him, though he didn't mention a word of it to me. I almost couldn't believe my ears when he said he wouldn't mind moving to your camp. He was dead against it only hours ago. What could have happened, I wonder? He almost got himself killed. What? He was attacked? By that horrid Magitech, you say? Goodness, that must have been quite a shock for my little man. Thank you for coming to his rescue. There's a salutary lesson to be gained from all this, though one that I hope he retains. Do not scorn a proffered hand when one is in need, whether that hand be friend or foes. At any rate, I thank you for finding him. It's not much, but please, I insist. All right. I really want to go get that Ether shard. Or not ether shard, it's ether current. To the southwest, okay. Let's go see where they're at. The runaway train, yes. Didn't run very far after it got crashed. 480 yards to the south. Oh, that squishy sound is just like, yeah. Cerealia ingens. .274 yards to the southwest. .105 to the southwest. Oh, there it is. I see it right there. .1,253 yams to the northwest. Okay. Oh, I don't want to go back to Charlian. Let's go to Tertium. .1,134 yams to the west. Okay. Forum Soleus. Regio Urbanissima. 911 yams to the west. They did a good job of making this look very war-torn and inhospitable. .571 yams to the west. .417 yams to the southwest. .248 yams to the southwest. Oh, there you are. I see you now. All right, we got them all. Let's go talk to Lise. Oh, we got Sirena, Sadhu, and Magni. That ought to be entertaining. I am to accompany you into the tower. It is an honor as ever. Sneeze. Damn these frigid lands. I snorted a little more than I wanted to. That'll make my kids laugh when they hear that. Oh, look, the sun does come out. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want to be over-leveled for Endwalker. The sun does not sneak. However, he will travel this path of yours, and those who walk with him will bask in his radiance. Saru's going. Yeah, right. Well, you know, the less armor you have on, the more the little heaters in the armor keep you warm. Yeah, the way into the tunnel is clear. We've made sure of it. I wish you'd made sure to bring a coat instead, or then we'd best get in there before we freeze, especially you. And Gab's like, not too impressed at her outfit. Oh, the shoe will be on the other foot when we're in. Believe you me, a good fight should warm us right up. Barely enough cloth to swaddle a newborn. Clearly you have spent too long around this feral dog of a Dotharl. Watch your tongue, fool, lest I feed it to the crows. We will see who is the fool after you freeze to death. Expect me not to warm your ill-prepared hide. These furs are for myself and my Nama alone, should I be blessed to meet her this day. If any woman of worth should wish to be warmed by you, little son, should we find such a warrior within, she will bask in my glorious flame. Stop, both of you. Save your fire for the enemy. As for extra furs, I have plenty to spare. Y'shtola says, as do we. Hello, everyone. All set for battle, I see. Y'shtola says, yes, free of unnecessary encumbrances, if rather more susceptible to the cold. Let us review our strategy quickly, if you don't mind. Pippin's group has gone ahead to the Enceladium. We are to meet them there. We wait until the Tempered's attention is drawn by our diversionary force, then we sneak onto the train. Next stop, the Tower of Babil. Cyrena says, if any, Tempered included, are injured, we Zayla will tend to them. You Scions must press on no matter what. Yep. Ingrid says, we should avoid moving as a group until we're underground, so we'll need to make our own ways to the Enceladium. See you there. Alright, what do Magni say? A glorious flame? Nay, I would have seen it were it so. I crave battle, not this insipid chatter. Lise says, just head north and you'll reach the Enceladium soon enough. Irina says, the Scions are welcome to our spare furs as well. You might mention that to Urianger. Elise says, who could possibly be cold at a time like this? My heart is pounding with anticipation. Alfino says, we'll stagger our departures so as to not raise a suspicion. You go on ahead. Y'shtola says, fear not, no serious wounds have gone untreated, nor will I stand for being left behind while the rest of you rush headlong into danger, so you needn't bother suggesting it. Ingrid says, I think it's time I was off. If I look at Urianger for one more moment, I'm liable to freeze solid. Raha says, and you're 100% certain you're fit to fight? No odd specters haunting your wake? Nothing feels tingly? Raha. Cold? Nay, I feel nary a thing. That's because you're too cold to feel anything anymore. Tinian says, when I infiltrated the palace with Gaius, we took an entirely different route. Since then, the whole place has been reconstructed, and it would appear that path is no longer accessible. All right, off we go. Fortunately for us, we can just, you know, drive on in past the enemies. I believe we have to come up this way, yeah. Lente's Arrow, Passage Guide. And says, "Hail, it's good to see you, Gaff. We heard that you collapsed, but were given only the most cursory explanation. I'm glad you've recovered quickly enough to take part in the operation at that. As you will have heard, we've secured the way in. Some few are to remain behind to keep your escape route clear. Our comrade from Lente's Tears will lead the way into the station. I'll join you soon." The station is right this way. Tread lightly now. Proceed to the station? Yes. Yeah, even Gav could use another layer. The leather is surprisingly warm. I'm gonna eat food because I think it involves another dungeon. This is everyone. Sirius talking to someone there. Consider the enemy well and truly distracted. Bim says, time to go. Fino says, our primary objective is, of course, the Telophoroid's leaders. But should we be presented with an opportunity to vanquish Anima, we must seize it. If it is indeed the force behind the towers, destroying it will deliver our allies from the Telophoroid's reign of terror. And I, for one, would not see the Garlean people manipulated any longer, be it by primal Ascian or anything else. He says, "Hear, hear, there's been enough of that. We came to help the people of Garlemald, and that's what we're going to do, together. Till the very end. The train should be along any moment now. Prepare to board, everyone." Tower of Babel now accessible. Pippin says the train we're boarding is meant to carry supplies and armaments and the like. With any luck, we can slip past the temperate as they go about unloading the freight. Lee says it's likely that Anima, at least, will notice when we enter the tower. There's no point in trying to stay hidden after that. So when the time comes, I say don't overthink it and cut a path straight through. Please, ever direct. Strange, though this will be a more fearsome fight than any Nadam, I feel at peace. Maybe it is because I have Sadhu, Magnai, and you at my side. Maybe it is because we fight for all Zayla and more people besides. There is but one path, which leads to victory. Your comrades tell me that the Telophoroi abducted you on the selfsame eve they so rudely interrupted your meal. A brazen feat that would make a Buduga proud. But even had it not ended poorly, it was a disappointment in many respects. I have decided that when we return triumphant, the Oranir will hold a far grander feast on the Azim steppe. You have permission to attend. Thanks. I kill no man. I have not forgotten your instructions. I must settle for crushing the Iron Man's toys. Their blue blood will feed my flames. Network error? What? Oh, fine. Okay. Yeah, I didn't have anything happening on my end, I don't think. Because I have the stream I'm watching on my phone. Elephant and Imperium. You know who is patrolling again. Alright. Alright, we have Tower of Babel. Oh, that was quick. Wow. And Ember Fox plays healer for us. And that helps the queue go like way faster. Otherwise, I would have done this with Duty Sport, but it's always faster to do it with live humans. They just are able to do much better. Typically have better gear too. Tower of Babel.
Now or never.
Doesn't she get tired of jumping around? Yeah. So when I'm playing, I typically will do AoE until there's 2 or less. So we just jump down the stairs. Let loose the dogs of war. Moments retrieved. From here onwards, we should split into 3 groups to divide their attention. Barnabas? Okay. Round and pound. I used a defensive cooldown. Didn't want to get pushed back too much. Rolling scrap line. Ah, I got hit there. Oh, yay, he died. Treasure chest back here. I hear my dog Mara barking. I'm thinking hubby probably is home. Our other folks are fighting these other enemies here. We're going to stay out of that. The farther we go, the worse this place gets. Pretty much, yeah. Might have saved it for a shroud, but it is what it is. So our paths diverge, and let us see who gets there first. Hey, baby. I'll be done in a little bit. We want to stay out of that. Lugae. Forgot what Lugae means. I'll have to look that up. Ew, I went out of that. I cannot remember. We gotta be little people. Go way over to the side here. I think for downpour we'll probably want to be frogs. Oop. Yay, us. Go, I shall deal with these whelps. I didn't know her last name was Heaven's Flame. Creepy tower. It's just a creepy place. Ethereal distortion. You don't want to be on these platforms here. because you'll get insta-nuked. Trying to hit as many of these guys as I can. Oh, there's Anima. Let's watch our cutscene. This is like the worst thing that could happen to Emperor Varus. The man spent his life fighting icons, and he's turned into one. I think we want to be away from these. Mega Graviton. I think we need to stretch these out. We gotta get out of that immediately. Imperatum. The horrific roar tears at the fabric of reality. We have a Anima's Dimension. Oh, that's kind of cool. Alleviating Claw. So we want to be here. In between. Looking at both sides. Altered reality plunges into chaos. He's not too happy about that, is he? Boundless pain. So you gotta go to the corner. We go here. All right, we did it. Yeah. Glory, glory, glory be. Oh, I almost feel relieved. Put Varus to his rest. Didn't care for him, but he didn't deserve that. All right. Oh, let's see what they have to say here. No one would wish for such an abomination. Embodiment of Garlemald's hopes and dreams, eh? The orchestrators of this chaos were nowhere to be seen. What doth lie within these countless vials? We probably don't want to know. Where are Xenos and Fandaniel? How could love for one's nation give rise? I didn't see what she said. Come on, this Stynian. Agony made flesh. How could love for one's nation give rise to such a monstrosity? I don't know. Nature of primals.
Farewell, Varus. May the gods have mercy on your soul. Come. The other two await.
This madness ends here!
Oh, hush. This is the best part. Mighty Zodiac, awaken from your slumber and descend!
Get goosebumps there. Oh dear.
Some manner of magical defense?
Oh, here's Cryo.
Cryo? But how?
The shackles that bind my adversary will not be so easily broken.
Hydaelyn, feeble relic of a forgotten age. Hark! Victory is mine! No more ether. And I was so close.
So close.
My lord, a slight change of plans. We shall travel to the moon and break this wretched barrier ourselves.
Whatever it takes.
What was that?
The final order issued by Anima to the Tempered Thralls. Should the Empire fall, the world must share her fate. Of course, Father lacked the conviction to give such a command. The abomination born of his flesh was but a puppet, and I the puppeteer.
You madman, you monster!
There's a funny joy in watching your flailing attempts to fight the inevitable. You're all going to die, and are powerless to prevent it. We really must be on our way. You're welcome to give chase, provided you are content to leave comrade and tempered alike to die screaming.
I have asked too much of this child. Tend to her. The last brand at Mare Lamentorum is yet unbroken. Zodiac remains bound. I have shifted the flow of ether and sent the enemy far from their destination. Now, I shall divert it once more. An ally awaits, and I will deliver you unto him. Seek his aid, restore the seal. Zodiac must not be set free.
The Tempered are running wild. Not only those at the tower, but those back at the camp. The others are doing their best to contain them, but the situation is growing beyond our control.
Leave them to die or give up the chase. Just like Fandaniel said.
I'm the one Xenos wants, or only I can bring an end to this, or Garlebalt's fate is in your hands. I'm the one Xenos wants.
going alone?
Elfino's not happy about this.
You have our trust and our faith. I pray we have yours.
Always.
Our friends and the Tempered need our help. We will save as many as we can, I swear.
Once we have matters well in hand, we'll join you on the moon. Until then, be careful. There's no telling what you'll find.
Who knew we'd be going to the moon? All right. We are going to leave it here and go to the moon next episode. Because we're well past our usual stop time. But I couldn't leave, you know, things undone, right? Get to our cat joke for today. All right, today's cat joke. Oh, you can help out, like, subscribe, follow, all that jazz. Super helpful for growing our channel. I finished part 3 of the Gridania walkthrough, beginner walkthrough. Takes you from creation through Sastasha Dungeon. So if you're really new to the game, check those out. I'm working on Ul'dah part 2 and 3. Limsa parts 1 through 3 is also done. Okay. I will be working on In From the Cold tutorial, solo duty, because that one is a beast. And we will hopefully get that done soon. Because I'm going to push that one out as quickly as I can. All right. Cat joke. Did you hear about the cat that lost its left leg? It's all right now. Yeah, it's all right now. Okay. All right, cats and kittens, on that crazy leg note. We'll see you soon. Mama Cat Gamer signing out.